went to a women's gathering last night for homesteaders here in the Ozarks. And it was really funny because I went with my two sisters and my niece and my sister's mother-in-law. I said my mother from another mother. And I was texting my sisters and I said, never in my younger years would I ever imagined that girls' night out would be going to a homesteading event with both of my sisters.
In 2019, we outgrew our house, so we downsized to a home on wheels. We built out our Sprinter van and traveled the country until we decided to buy a property, a home on land. We are Marcus, Janie, Rhea, and Kaya.
So that right there is interesting itself, but we had a lot of fun. We met so many great women and saw some that we had already met, and we just talked about seeds and planting and growing. And the seed exchange is, there's a seed exchange on Saturday, so we'll be going to that as a family, which will be a lot of fun. And so at this point, I've been studying all morning, doing my permaculture class. It's called Perma Resilience is the course that I'm taking. And so I'm just trying to really devour the information on growing, especially just, some key terms that we're looking at is, just guilds, plant guilds or tree guilds, food forests, companion planting, ecological planting or growing, biodynamic. And so I know that we have to start somewhere and it's not going to be perfect this year, but I really, really want to make sure we have some kind of plan before we just throw some seeds in the ground. And it may just happen like that in some areas. Right now I'm headed to the University of Missouri Extension Office. I've always heard really great things about extensions, even when we were in Colorado, and I had just never actually gone. And one of my sisters, Karen, she went to one the other day for some stuff for 4-H, and she texted my sister and Katie and I, and she's like, you guys, they're giving away free organic seeds that were donated to them and just sharing with the community. And so I was like, that's awesome. And so I'm going to go there and see what they have. We're really trying to stick to open-pollinated seeds and heirloom seeds. And I've been wanting to go there anyway and just ask a lot of questions. I know for canning, which I have not tried my hand at, my mom is going to have to teach me that, and I know that there's some other women in the area who have experience in this, so I'm looking forward to gleaning off of their experience. But I know that they check your pressure. Will check your pressure gauge on your canner. And I was talking to the gal today, and they actually we can take our soil in for them to send off and get our soil tested just to see what the level is there. So I'm excited to just go in and kind of just find out what they're all about. So curious if anybody else has had any experience with extension offices where they live, and so let me know. I'm here at the University of Missouri Extension Office, and this is Melissa. I just got to meet her, and she loaded me up with a bunch of seeds, and not only are they organic, but they're heirloom seeds, so that was really exciting. And I just want her to tell you a little bit about the extension and what she does and what they do. She's been telling me all about it, and it's going to be much better coming from her than me.
Hi, I'm Melissa. I am the office manager here at the MU Extension Newton County office. I always tell people that MU Extension is Missouri's best kept secret. We do a little bit of everything. We have in this office, our CES is Eden Stewart. She is not here today, but she is our nutrition specialist. She does canning classes. She does all of our food preservation, so canning, dehydrating, all of those things. She also does works with our seniors in our area for Stay Strong, Stay Healthy, and some of those other get well type programs. We have Julie. She is also a nutrition educator. She works with our children. So she works in our school systems, our Head Starts, to teach healthy eating habits and good behavioral habits as far as exercise and that kind of thing as well. We're also home to 4-H, which is a huge program here in Newton County. So we are your go-to people for those as well. Extension, we have an agronomist that is for our region, Jill Scheit. She is actually at one of our other locations, is her office. She will talk to you about your farm, talk to you about soil health. She'll come out and do grains, pastures, all that kind of stuff. We have a horticulturist. His name is Robert Balick. He will do anything lawn and garden, answer all of those questions. Let's see, Jennifer Lutz is our McDonald County office. She is our ag business specialist. So if you are needing help with record keeping or getting a financial plan together to go to the bank to get a loan for your farm, she is the person to talk to for that. She also does our goats and sheep and our small ruminants stuff. So extension is huge, and like I said, we are the best kept secret. Most people think of us as being just 4-H, but there is so much more. We do soil testing as well. We do soil testing. Soil tests are $23 per sample that we take. We send this to the lab in Columbia. They'll tell you what the soil needs. The tests are actually read by the agronomist and the horticulturist, and they will give you recommendations on what you need to do to amend your soil for the best garden, to plant the best whatever plant you're looking for.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Would you say is it like this in most states, or is everyone ran differently?
So MU Extension, we are an extension of Mizzou, okay, up in Columbia. It is a land grant university. So each state has extension, because nearly every state has a land grant university. We have an office in every county in Missouri. So no matter where you are, you can find extension and all of these resources. We have a website. There are tons of things on the website. Now we have a lot of classes that are on Zoom. So you can actually go in and register for free gardening classes, free cattle raising classes. I mean, there's just...
And do you have to be like a citizen, like how to do any of those, to do those classes? Anybody can do that?
Anybody can.
That's so cool.
They did a class not long ago that was a foraging town hall class. There was actually people from like 3 or 4 different countries that actually zoomed in and participated in those classes. So
wow.
There's all kinds of stuff out there. So if you have not checked out the Facebook page, we do have a Facebook page. Try to post everything there. Definitely look.
That is awesome.
Yes.
You are a wealth of knowledge between everybody that's here, and thank you for everything.
Definitely, yeah.
I feel like I could have asked Melissa 100 more questions. I was trying to think of good questions that would be helpful for everybody that's watching that are from all over the country, in your areas too. But I didn't want to take up more of her time. It was just kind of spontaneous, and I asked if I could ask her a few questions, and there's some more people coming in. And so I just encourage you to reach out to your extension if you have questions. I'm like blown away at how much information I'm going to show you here. What I just got. Melissa gave me this vegetable planting calendar, which is great because, I mean, you can spend all that time looking online, but to meet people in your area and that have this information, I'm glad to have that and to look over this. And this is actually an aloe vera. She was just telling me all these stories about people donating stuff and plants that they don't necessarily need or can't take care of. And so they had this giant aloe vera plant. And so she was like, just take a part of it for free. And so I'm gonna go home and plant that and see how that goes. But here are all the seeds, and I didn't even take like all of them, like one of everything. I just took, I mean, I still took a good amount, but most of them I took the heirloom. Not all of them were heirloom, but I mean, there's a ton of them. I'm so thrilled. This is incredible. We went to a seed swap this morning, and it was pretty great. That was our first time ever going to one, and met a lot of other women there that it was their first time. And once again, we got to see some great friends, and Joyce and Jean, they have a YouTube channel, and I'll post it down below. And we got to see Cheryl. Cheryl's one that heads up the Ozarks homesteading. and puts on a lot of these events. And Rachel, she just kind of connects. She's a connector, is what I say. She connects a lot of people and is just so sweet. And met Cheryl's daughter, and she sells elderberry, and so we got some elderberry starts from her and a lot of just different seeds and great education. There's a gal Lissa. I'll link her Facebook page down below. She is so informative and just has so much experience on seed saving, and so she was teaching on that. And then we just got a good handful of different seeds. We brought some of ours that we had already, and then we were able to pick up some ones that we didn't have, some really cool ones. All in all, I'm still writing out our seed list for this year of everything that we want to grow. And like I said, our main focus is our perennials, getting the perennials in the ground to get started in the fruit trees. So obviously we didn't get seeds for those. We'll have to get some starter plants for all of our different berries and for our trees, and some of the other perennials, and also some annuals that we want to grow that we weren't able to get at the seed swap, and also from the other day from when I went to the extension office and was able to pick up seeds. But I feel like we have pretty much everything we need other than just a handful of the perennials and fruit trees and maybe a few other seeds. So I need to go sit down and kind of pull my brain together of what we already have and what we still need. And so if you guys have any good recommendations, I love creating bullet journals and making journal pages, but I keep looking at different ones, and I'm like, with this being new as far as like to this extent, I'm not exactly sure what is going to be the best format for trying to track all of this and journal about it as I go. So if you have suggestions of journals that you like or ways that you do your garden journaling, your garden tracking, be sure to comment below or share that with us. I'd love to know. Let's recap steps to getting started gardening with seeds. 1, look at what's important to you in seeds. You have everything from heirloom, you have hybrid, you have organic, you have non-GMO, you have GMO, you have open-pollinated. So all of these are different terms, and some of them cross over. And so do some studying and research. And I mentioned in the video that we like to do heirloom, and the reason is becoming more sustainable, knowing that you can get a seed and collect your seeds at the end of the season to plant and not have to buy seeds every year. You can also do that with hybrid. You're just not necessarily going to get the exact seed, because the hybrid is actually like the 2 seeds or 2 plants that cross-pollinate, and when you get the seed from that, it's going to go back to one of the parents. It's not going to be the hybrid. So it's a whole nother topic for a different video, and it's all things that I'm still learning, but I would definitely say do some research on that. Just look up the difference of the different seed types. Number 2, get a rough idea of what you want to grow, especially if you're starting to establish perennials, which I highly recommend. Perennials are going to take longer to establish and longer to harvest, but they're going to produce year after year. And so it's part of the work smarter, not harder method. Especially there are a lot of vegetables, there are a lot of herbs that can grow year after year that can provide your family with health, nutrition, also medicine. And so kind of get an idea of what you want to grow. Start looking up different perennials, look up different annuals, look up what is going to be good in your area, in your zone, and start getting some ideas. Maybe write them down, just start letting it kind of go through your head, and then start dumping it on the paper. Number 3, connect with locals for swapping seeds. This is something that's all new to me this year, and I am so glad that I have been able to connect. I mean, gosh, I was in Colorado for how long and didn't even know that this was a thing. And so start talking to people, start talking to your, nurseries, your different, look up different, gardening in your area. Just talk to friends and see where you can plug in and get connected and see if there are local seed swaps. I have been so like blown away at just the support of that one another gives each other in this community that we found. And I think that's a great way to get started, and also to find out what's going to work in your area, and also find seeds, especially if they've been collected from other people in the area, that are going to adapt well to where you are. Number 4, contact your university extension. And so just look up in your county the university extension and call them, go in and see them, visit with them, see all of the different things that they offer, and start taking advantage of those opportunities. And like I said, this time it was awesome that I was able to score some free seeds. But even that, I mean, we'll get our soil tested from them, probably take some classes and courses and get more connected with the community. Lots of opportunities there. Number 5, it's kind of a given of mix of everything, is do your research, study, ask questions. You know, you can definitely wing it. Lots of people do it, just wing it, grab some seeds, put them in the dirt, and that's okay. I think that's a great thing to do. But if you are really wanting to be sustainable and start growing food for your family, or growing herbs for medicine, whatever it may be, you need to come up with a plan. And so the best way to do that to start with is study. Do some studying, figure out where you can carve out some time to make that a priority for you. And number 6, start to get your seeds, your ideas, your dates, your plans, everything, start to get them organized. And so for me, I tried to start with that before everything, and I just was like, my brain could not wrap around it. I was trying to figure out, well, what seeds do I start, and how do I start a journal? And so for right now, it might just be dumping stuff. I call it a brain dump. Take everything and just write it on the paper, write notes, and then afterwards start to kind of organize it. So at this point, I know like what seeds I have, what seeds I still needed to order, and I ordered those. I wrote down the different dates of when they needed to be planted, either indoors or outdoors, or if I was going to winter sow them. I'm starting to write down the garden beds and what will work well together. So just start to organize those thoughts, whether that's just taking a piece of paper, writing them down. It may be starting a spreadsheet on a computer. It may be writing in a garden journal. I'm going to do that in the next video. I will go over kind of my process of what I've done this year and share with you a spreadsheet and share with you just some ideas that might be helpful, and also go through how I've been doing some seed sowing and how we're starting. So make sure that you are subscribed if you like this video and you want to hear more from me, and just make sure that you hit the subscribe button to get notifications. And I'm so glad you're here on this journey, and for sure comment down below with any questions, and also any experience that you have. Share your knowledge and your experience with people that are watching, and we can all learn from one another. So take care. God bless.